Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to EML. We are here tonight for season number 5. It is Premier 1 and or F1, and it is round 8 of the championship as we've taken the Brazilian Grand Prix from the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. My name is James Head. I'm delighted to be taken through the stream, as always, on a Wednesday night. Hope you are all doing well. And we've got pretty much a full grid ready to go. If you're wondering where Mr. IRT Indigo is, he's going to be taking the F2 stream very much live very soon indeed. So, unfortunately, you're stuck with me for the next hour and a half, which hopefully is not too bad. Brazil has been a track where there's been some really good racing out on track, and hopefully that presents itself once again here tonight, as we can go into and remind you, of course, of what happened last week in terms of the top 3. All the drivers are in the grid, so we can get going very soon indeed. But Ben's, of course, taking the win. OP recovering their form last week and recovering their points challenge and their title challenge at that as well. Ben's taking the win from Ghost King in second. Tom there in third. A fantastic win as well, I've got to say, from Benza. Really dominant in the end over Ghost King. Tom, of course, picking up in third. He's had a lobby host tonight, and he is back once again for Shazoo. Looking through then, the championship standings coming into tonight, F7R leading the way on 257 points. 2 wins and 5 podiums to their name, but only 10 points behind is their good old rivals. It is Outplayed Racing in second, with 2 wins and 7 podiums to their name on 247 points. Very close indeed between the long-term team rivalry that has got going on between both teams. NLR not too far off the pace either. They have a good result tonight. They are going to be definitely in amongst the field. 2 wins and 2 podiums to their name there in third on 203. Then Team Jazoo in fourth with 3 podiums to their name on 170. They're not entirely out of it either. G League there in fifth on 110. Got a little bit of ground to make up, but they can be good on their day. EC8 in sixth on 114. Interesting driver lineup tonight for both of them as well. PGS Sim Racing in seventh on 74. The next Esports in 8th on 72. Race Concept Racing in 9th on 55. And then WSC Esports in 10th on 49 points. But F7R out on top. OP in second. Drivers already up in the lobby very soon, so we'll get to the on-track action very soon indeed. Looking through the chat as well, Cameron's dad is saying, let's go on, son, and Vola Kongan is in the chat. Good old Vola Kongan, after his podium positions and really consistent season so far on PSGL. Okay, let's go, of course, competing, I forgot completely what I was going to say, but he is supporting Team Jazoo. That's what I was going to say. Anyways, we're going to get onto the grid very soon indeed, but this is the driver lineup that we have got tonight. It is Hazara and Feders Piga, former OP man, in for ET8, alongside Hazara, the Norwegian former TNL racing driver, in the Red Bull. And then for the Mercedes Team Jazoo, it is Tom and Cameron Dowd. Same lineup for the third week in a row, I think, them. Yossi and Aurelian in the McLaren. Very strong lineup, I've got to say, for F7R. Then it's Belbelby and Lorenzino in for RCO and the Aston Martin. Ghost King and Ethan in for G League in the Alpines. Then Benza and Ryan in for OP in the Ferraris. Very, very good lineup for OP once again. Formula X and oh my word, Romeo. I don't know how to pronounce that. That's going to be a tricky one on me in commentary. That is WSC in the AlphaTauris. Gavano and Rufy in for NLR in the Williams. Rufy, of course, part of the NLR lineup in Academy this season. Same with Gavano, I think, as well, for 1 or 2 races. Jeslar and BR4 in the Alfa Romeo for X Esports. And Robert and Cagino in for PGS as well. Goated lineup. Former TCG, of course, both of them. And they are back once again to deliver out on track. And speaking of out on track, let's have a look at the track map in question. 4.3 kilometres length. 2.6 mile, 15 turns right now. Drivers out on track with 2 DRS zones, 1 down the start from straight in towards turn number 1, and then 1 in towards turn number 4 at the Cedar del Lago as well, which could be a very, very potent position to have out on track, especially because there's so many overtaking opportunities. There's so many bits of contact around here as well. Hopefully, unlike no contact Formula 1, we won't get any fire alarms going off tonight as well. But we can get going on to the on-track action. The first drivers are just about to leave, and it's Ryan, I believe, the first man out on track for Outplayed Racing. Outplayed Racing looking to try and outplay the opposition once again here tonight. Indigo saying in the chat, hope we're back together next week. We will be back together. next week for sure, unless Leslie has something else to say about that for F2. But Ryan is the first man out on track for OP. OP, of course, fantastically done well last week with Benza taking the win. Very good point, sort of 40-point gain. I think it was Dirk from TF10, if I'm not mistaken, who messed up his EOR. And again, put a little bit of the mockers on him last week as well. But OP have really came alive. F7R, of course, with the Rani and the Aussie in tonight. Going to be interesting to see how they get on. Ryan is the first man out on track. And he is fresh from a very, very good showing in PSGL PSF1 on Monday night as well. And if you didn't tune in for that, where were you, first and foremost? But second of all, why didn't you come in and tune in to see Ryan picking up a very good result? I think he finished top 10, if I'm not mistaken. I will go back on my notes in a second. But Ryan will take you on board with him on the run down towards turn number 1. We'll turn the timing tower up on the left-hand side just to give you that full view on the run in towards the centre S at turns 1 and 2. So through the left-hander 1, through the right-hander turn number 2, then through the left-hander turn number 3, running down the Retro Posta, of course, by the famously by the Ferraris of Leclerc and Vettel making contact. Hopefully the Ferraris don't make contact down into here. To see the Delago at turn number 4, 16-7 in the first sector from Ryan, looking nicely done indeed. Coming out through left-hander at turn number 5, and up the hill in towards the right-hander of turn number 6 of Ferragua. Famously where truly Piquet, Glock and Alonso famously made contact in 2009 around here. Now we're coming through the middle part of the lap. Very, very much twisting and turning at this part of the lap. Now coming through the right-hander of turn number 10 at Magulio. And then towards the left-hander, I should say, turn number 11 at Magulio. Then through the left-hander, turn number 12 at Juntag. Can be right then getting lost here in 2012 in the Lotus. 50.9 in the middle sector from Ryan. Oh, nearly getting lost on the curb there, did Ryan. But coming out through the left-hander now, turn 13, that's the dos boxes. Now on the run to line through 14 and 15. That's a lap of Brazil. That's a lap on board with Ryan, who was valid on this lap. Goes to the line, a 107.666 to start off the night. Very nice lap time done indeed. Benza as well is coming towards the line in the other outplayed racing car in the Ferrari. He is now on the run to the line, failing to match Ryan or even go quicker than him. Goes second, of course, pole sitter and the winner, of course, from last time out. Redding, though, goes a 10th quicker than both of them. Cameron Dowd as well coming toward the line. He's coming through the middle sector, 50.6, matching Ryan in that middle sector as Caginio was retired out on track. And that's actually in the wall. Coming out through turn number 12, just on the right-hand side. You might have just seen that. We'll try and get a better camera angle. But Caginio out of the session already. Disappointing stuff for PGS as Cameron Dowds comes to the line, and wow, a 107.433 sets now the benchmark ahead of everyone. Already in there in second, Ryan there in third. Very, very good lap time there by the Scotsman. Yossi's coming through the middle sector as well. The flying Swissman. We're going to try and set a good lap time on the board. We'll see what the Swissman can do as he now comes through the right-hander of turn number 11, and he's done exactly what I've done around here in Brazil in the past. Catch the grass on the left-hand side and spin the car around. I don't think he was actually on a lap anyways, but Yossi, there in 17th, not the best start for him in F7R, certainly tonight. But it is Cameron Dowd down on top, already in second, Ryan there in third, the top 3, only separated by 0.2 of a second. Early on, Ghost King as well, coming through the final corner, because Slipstream is allowed here in EML this season, and Ghost King is at a 107.992. Disappointing from the man who was up there, of course, finishing P2 last week in Zandvoort. So P9 for him, behind OP's former driver in Fedus Piga, now part of ET8, of course. Ghost King, though, in 9th position. Disappointing that, I've got to say, from his high expectations from last week. A specialist around here is Tom. He's now coming through the middle sector through Ferragua in toward Laranja, turn at number 8. Now coming through the left-hander turn number 9. This is looking pretty good, I've got to say, from Tom so far. He has had specialist conditions, of course, in the wet in the past. He's won around here in season 31 in PSGL, PSF1, of course, as well. I think picking up the podium in EML as well. Yossi, though, getting blocked by Benza, apparently, which is getting into the OPF7R trade book. But Tom now coming through the final couple of corners, through 14 and 15. Doesn't bail it into the pit lane. I think it's certainly like a good lap time, actually, from Tom on the run to line. And he goes quicker than Cameron Dowd by a 10th of a second. Very solid lap time from him. Tom Adams up, Cameron Dowd in second, already in there in third in the early stages. Ethan, literally, I was just coming involved with him. I didn't realise he was coming to the line that quick. He goes 7th. 107.7. Very good lap time from him as well. Thank you in the chat saying hello to me and hello to everyone. and hope you all doing well on this fine Wednesday evening. I was going to say Tuesday evening there. On this fine Wednesday evening, let me know in the comment section how Nathan JB has just done. Let me know who you think is going to get pole position out on track, and let me know who you're supporting as well. Volakongan clearly supporting Shazoo in the chat, but Nathan, interestingly, saying Tom or Aurelian for pole position. Yeah, I'd probably back that, to be honest. I think Tom, very, very strong. Brazil is one of his strongest tracks, even though he said to me in an interview once that it's one of his worst tracks on the last game. So Tom definitely putting the mental advantage, I think, on him rather than anyone else. He's there on top right now from Cameron Dowd in second and running there in third. Roofy, though, looking to try and ruffle some feathers, ruffle up the field. Coming through turn number 4, nearly runs wide like me in my league race around here. I think, actually, Rufi might be backing off on this lap, coming up the hill and towards Laranha at turn number 8. And then through the left-hand of turn number 9. It's looking very good so far from Rufi. Again, that first mistake from him, really going to put him back. You're going to lose time pretty much throughout the entirety of the lap now, on board with the NLR man. Now come to the right-hander of turn number 12. Rufi, I believe, might be one of the drivers, actually, that has been learning no assist for the shortest amount of time. I believe he is new to no assist on this game. 51 flat from him. Coming through the left-hander of turn number 12 at Junsao, then into towards speed of the Foxes at 13 and 14. There's Tom out on top, it's Cameron Dowds there in second, it is a running there in third early on. Shazoo 1-2, watch out for them as now Rufi comes to the line and goes 9th actually, 107.9. That looked considerably slower than what I was thinking there, but he's there in 9th position, very, very strong that time shown from him. Apologies, by the way, if you have just got a couple of adverts there coming through on your end. I certainly did on my end. Apologies, it is the new YouTube thing of putting, of maybe demonetizing us, and of course putting YouTube ads in as well. YCN there in the chat saying Paul for Goals King. Down in 12th position though right now for Goals King. Of course P2 last week in Zandvoort got a very big shoes to fill. So let's see what he is going to try and do out on track. Yossi is mentioned in the Discord, by the way. Nice strat to Benza, so it actually was not blocking. It was just purely maybe a little bit of tripness in games out on track. ETML though of Hazara in the Red Bull in P8 right now, 107.714, is on the lap. The Norwegian formerly of TNR, Team Norway Racing. Now part of ET8 these days, of course, coming through the right-hander, the turn number 11, or turn number 10 even, I should say. And then through the left-hander, turn number 11 at Magulio. Tom out on top, Cameron Dowds in second, and Hazara's up in the middle sector by 0.2 of a second. Normally in the middle runs, you do find a lot of time from tyre to tyre. Around about 0.4 on an average you find in terms of the time. So Hazara might be just shy of that, might be around 0.3 improvement, but Hazara is definitely looking good here for a lap. He comes to the line. And he does find 2.5 improvement. So there, Hazara out on into third position. Ryan just starting up on a lap. I think he's actually made a mistake through turn number 1. Or he just came off a lap. I think he might have just come off a lap, actually, Ryan. Through in turn number 5. Benz and Valadil coming through the left-hand of turn number 8. That must have been picked up coming on the outside of Ferradura. Yossi, though, goes quickest with a 107.1. A 107.1. You have got to be kidding me. He must have had slipstream potentially from Aurelian on that lap, and looking at the location of them, yes they have. They have slipstreamed, definitely, and that is why Yossi is 2.5 through the rest of the field right now. And Aurelian is a 10th up through the first sector, backing that up with a 16.7 in that first sector as well. So looking very, very strong indeed. Now coming through the part of the right-hander of turn number 6 at Ferradura, then into the Laranha at turn number 8. The Laranha, of course, translating to, of course, orange. Yeah, orange. Bet you didn't know that. And we're on board with an orange, a papaya-coloured car in the F7 man of a rally. And the Frenchman now coming to the left-hander of turn number 11. Looking good through the middle sector. 2.5 up. So he's clearly finding improvement on this time. A 107.5 currently his personal best. But he's now on the run to the line. Surely to go ahead of Tom in terms of this lap. He's got no slipstream ahead of him. So he's going to lose a little bit of time down the straight potentially. But running a very solid lap here on the run to the line. Goes second, F7R now, 1-2. Very solid lap there from Aurelian. But it is Yossi out on top, Aurelian there in second, Tom there in third. Cameron Dowds, though, responding. A 10.5 up in the middle sector. And let's see what he could do in front of his dad, like Kian, of course, a couple of weeks ago, and who I believe it's his birthday today as well. Happy birthday, Kian, if you're watching this. 107.242 from Cameron Dowds, now splitting the F7R pair. Tom as well is just starting up on a lap as well, coming to the right-hander of turn number 7. But it's Aussie out on top. It's Cameron Dowd in second, Aurelian there in third. 6.5 minutes just over to go in this session. I dare say that we haven't had any illegal blocking penalties so far tonight. The drivers have been behaving themselves the last couple of weeks here, even though we had a double restart last week in Qatar. But a 50.5 in the Netherlands. That was in Qatar, in PSGL even. But Tom through the middle sector is only barely up. He's 300 up, so he's not really improving on what Aurelian's setting at the minute. So Tom now coming through the left-hand return, number 15. On the run to the line, on board with Tom, and he goes fourth. Doesn't improve his position though. 107.324, 600th improvement in terms of his lap time finding. Goals King is finding absolutely nothing on his time. Literally even split in the middle sector. Now coming through the left-hand return, number 15 on the run toward the line. This long run towards the line here in Brazil. 12th position, 107.802. So good lap there from Goals King. That's more like it from him. Definitely not going to be on par with what we saw in Zandvoort so far. Roofy's through the middle sector. He's a 10th up. After that mistake, of course, in the sector 1. Definitely finding a bit of time as the NLR man. So we see what the Williams can do now through the left-hander of turn number 14 and 15. The Aussie from Cameron Dowd from Aurelian, if you are just tuning in with 5.5 minutes to go. Roofy now going ahead of Goals King. So, 100th behind Fedus Piga. And now, what, 800th of a second clear over Goals King. But he's out on top there in 12th position ahead of Goals King and behind Fedus Piga there. Ivano going to be one of the next to come across the line as well to just start on his lap. Nathan JB mentioned in the chat, watch out for Bell Belby around here. He's very quick. RCR looking pretty quick, I've got to be honest. Mention that, yeah, 107.611, 107.674 for RCR. They have definitely been practicing. They've been knocking on the door, I've got to be honest, the last couple of weeks of RCR. In terms of their performances, Netherlands last week, you can forget about the first half of the race, but up until then, the week before, RCR were looking like a top 10 finish in round 5, which I think was Austria, if I'm not mistaken. They were looking very good. Then they made 2 mistakes and had a better contact and then dropped completely down the field. So RCR definitely looking to be towards the top end of the field. Certainly here tonight, certainly looking good. Ahead of Benza, who was on, who won the race last week. So Bell Belby doing a fantastic job as Gavona now comes through the left-hander of turn number 9. The NLR man is slightly up in that first sector. He's out of sync compared to everyone else. He will get time though to set another lap if he is very, very good. ZQ saying in the chat as well, Bell Goat. Yeah, looking that way right now for Bell Belby there in 9th. Gavano 51 flat in the middle sector. NLR, gotta be honest, are struggling. Roofy there in 12th position right now. Gavano was not really on par with the top end of the field. Gavano's looking disappointing on this lap, I've got to be honest. I'm not criticising NLR whatsoever. He goes 13th behind Roofy. 13th position. And for a team that's 54 points, off the top step of the podium right now, with OP and F7R course separated by 10 points, you would expect NLR to be a bit more consistent around here. But Gavano and Roofy not enjoying things so far in the absolute slightest. Disappointing to see. I've got to be honest, from NLR, definitely a team to watch out for, though, in the race if they can perfect their strategy. Aurelian's on a lap as well. He's there in P3 right now. He's on an out lap on board. We go with him. The Frenchman just warming up his sides. He's on a fresh set of soft compound tyres. Starting his way coming through turn number 11 there. Or turn number 10 even. But, yeah, NLR. There's some emojis going off in the chat, which I'm guessing is from an NLR fan. Probably Alex the G. But yeah, I don't want to criticise them whatsoever. But for me, 12th and 13th. Goals King 14th as well. Compared to last week where NLR were pretty much up there, Goals King was pretty much up there. Just disappointing from my perspective. I expected a little bit more in terms of lap time. Remember, Slipstream is allowed here. Remember, not like the WR Legacy Division for NLR, but NLR can favour the Slipstream. So if they want to do that, they can. Every team can do that, of course, as well. As the rally now comes through the left-handed turn number 3 at the centre S. Now on the run down, the retro posturing towards the cedar log. Well, he's 400s down through the first sector, so down possibly in terms of a bit of slipstream that he got in terms of his last lap. But it's the Aussie out on top. It's Cameron Dowd in second, Aurelian there in third. Aurelian have just avoiding one of the Williamses there. Now coming through the right hand of turn number 6. Through the right hander now of turn number 7 at Laranha. And downhill in towards turn right. Pretty much the highest point of the track now we come towards at turn number 10 at Laranha. Looking very good, does Aurelian. bit deep, actually, into the corner. Might just lost him a little bit of time. Now coming to the left-hander of turn number 11 at Magulio. Now turn 12, and he's 600s up, or 6,000s up even, but he's got a bit of slipstream going on ahead of him. Yossi's going to give him the run all the way to the line with this slipstream. It could gain you about 0.4 of a second, so Aurelian could be going on top here. He's now putting out the slipstream on Yossi on the run to the line. Beautiful. 107 flat. That is how you do it. Take note, everyone. It is Aurelian out on top. Yossi there in second. Cameron Dowds there in third. Beautifully done from F7R. Nathan saying in the chat, I'm surprised with the Brazilian Tales isn't racing for NLR tonight. Yes, exactly. I think this track would have been absolutely man-made for a race like him. Belbelby invalid, by the way. Bent is a 10th and a half up, though. He is showing all as he avoids the AlphaTauri, but spins himself. That, I think, was one of the WSC drivers around. Belbelby is gone, and Roman has been disqualified for going the wrong way. And that is just for covering the car, I think, getting beat potentially on the grass. He was ahead of Cagino, who'd already retired out the session. So this will be an interesting one. This will be an interesting one to see if we get a restart for this, because Benta made his own mistake. He got avoided by the AlphaTauri. His session is now over. But whether or not we get a restart for Roman being disqualified, I don't think we will. If we do, he'll be placed 19th and ahead of Cagino with his remaining lap, so it doesn't really make a difference. He's on the final row of the grid right now. Yossi, though, not improving 107.2. Disappointing from him. Cameron Dowds is up, though. 50.4 in that middle sector. Looking huge as now comes to the left-hander of turn number 15. On the run to the line is actually bailed off. So Cameron Dowds bails. Coming into the pit lane. Ghost King. That's more like it from him into fourth. Tom is now on the lap as well. The Brit now coming down the hill into the left-hander of turn number 11 and 12. See what Tom can do in this middle sector. 50.6 down in the middle sector. So Tom not actually improving right now. Nathan and saying in the chat, don't think it's worth restarting. Yeah, disqualification, not fair. If he spun, and he spun again, and then he spun again, I can totally understand why the game is actually disqualified him there. But Tom, now on the run to the line, does he improve 1,300ths down in terms of his lap time? He goes 5th, but might be under pressure from Hazara. Hazara now the Norwegian, on the run to the line for EC8, looking good so far in terms of his lap time. And he looks good again, because he goes 6th position, only 300ths of a second off Tom. Very good lap time from him. Lorenzinho's on a lap as well. Don't think Yossi's actually out on there on a lap. Fedis Piga, though, is. He's coming through the middle sector, and he's a 10th up through that middle sector as well. Now coming through the left-hander, though, of turn number 13 and 14, and Fedis Piga, a little bit slow in the straight. I've got to be honest, he backed off. He has. Fedis Piga's backed off. Clearly not happy with the run coming out of John Sow at turn number 12. I was wondering why he was just backing off that. The Fedis Piga there in the pit lane. That is his job done. Lorenzinho was done as well. He's down his lap time. I think that is the end of qualifying. It is indeed. It's Aurelian out on top from Yossi there in second and Cameron Dowd in third. F7R, remember, 10 points clear coming into tonight. And they are out on top once again. But Outplayed Racing looking to try and OP the field there. But look at where they are. 8th and 12th position. It's a bit like Qatar for them. Bit of a Nutella sort of track. You either love it or you hate it. If you love Nutella, then I'm sorry, you deserve to be out the chat right now. But Aurelian out on top. Yossi there in second. Cameron Dowds there in third. Lorenzinho, though, in the pit lane. Just waiting on him to retire. But yeah, that was an interesting session. Nathan JB calling the pole position, Mother Tom or Aurelian. It was Aurelian out on top. To be fair, he said Tom, and Tom was in 5th position. And didn't get the benefit of the slipstream. Suzuki didn't want to go for that slipstream. But F7R did, and it perfected to absolute perfection. It's Aurelian out on top. Yossi in second. Cameron Dowds there in third. No illegal blocking, by the way, so we'll get straight into the race. Ghost King in 4th with Tom there in 5th, Hazara there in 6th, Ethan there in 7th, and Ryan in 8th. Lorenzinho 9th, only 1,000th of a second off OP Ryan, who, by the way, is PSGL PSF1 this season. So, fantastic job from him. Belbelby there in 10th, then BR4 in 11th, then Fender in 12th, Fedis Pica 13th, to an Italian 7th row of the grid, pretty much. Rufy there in 14th, Gavano, Jesdar, Robin, Formula X, the top 18. And then Cagino, who didn't actually set lap time after crashing out through turn 12 at John Sow. And then Roman getting disqualified at the same corner. They're down in 20th position. What I'm going to do is run the advert from Next Level Racing. And we'll be back with you in about 30 seconds. Thanks to our sponsors, of course, of Next Level Racing for that advert. And as you can tell, we are back on the grid. And judging by everyone running the set of soft componentized and qualifying, it seems like it's going to be a draw race. Myself, James Hyde, taking you through the action here tonight for EML F1. It is season number 5. It is round 8 of the championship, getting into the nitty-gritty right now in terms of the season. But F7R out on top, Aurelian and Yossi first and second, looking very, very strong. Qualifying is one thing, the race is an entirely different thing at that as well. Just seeing some reaction, by the way, in the Discord very quickly. Tom mentioning in the chat, do we have to keep all 4 tyres in the lines on pit lane or entry? I would assume so. It's a very difficult pit lane entry or exit around here, so I would just keep all 4 wheels within the white lines, and you'll be absolutely fine. And Ryan mentioned about the chicane, because the chicane, I think it's a 38 kilometers an hour speed limit, or 30 mile an hour speed limit in here, in this pit lane. So drivers have to clarify that. It should have been clarified, I think, beforehand. But we have been busy trying to find lobby holes for F2, as well as everything else in the background. So you can probably understand why this is getting done very late indeed. Well, at least one tyre still on. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. So people can take the chicane pretty much as usual. Otherwise, it is exceeding track limits, as what is being mentioned there in the chat. So drivers can take the chicane, which means we could see some 5-second penalties of speed into the pit lane there as well. But let me know in the comment section who you are now predicting for this race win. I'm going to immediately say Yossi for the win. Now, I think Aurelian is going to play the team game. F7R are going to play the same game. I think Yossi, though, is strong around this track. He's much stronger than what he showed there in qualifying. I know he's only 300ths of a second off Aurelian, but out on top, Aurelian is going to play that real trump card. And with Yossi behind, I just think Yossi will take the race win. But I think it could be Shazoo trying to ramp up the pace as well. Cameron Dad's going to mention in the chat, yeah, I think he might get second, certainly. And Tom, very strong around this track. Do not discount him, so I'm going to go Tom for third as well. Aurelian, I think, will be fourth, but very, very close, I think, in terms of the actual pit entries. And watch out for OP further down the field as well. With Benza, with Ryan, them two are very strong around this track in the race rather than in qualifying. So watch out for them, of course, where they have qualified out on track as well. Not sure if Tom realises, by the way, that that he has to actually give the go-ahead for these drivers to ready up, because Indigo forgets sometimes. I am certainly saying you guys can ready up if you are tuning in to the stream and you're expecting me to tell you to ready up. You can ready up if you want to. It is pretty much now go time in terms of the action out on track. But Nathan also saying in the chat that Yossi committed a few war crimes here before last season in PSGL. Yeah. I mean, war crimes is pretty extreme given what's going on in Israel and Gaza and everything right now. But, yeah, I can totally understand, indeed. But Tom mentioned, is there a time to ready up? You've got to tell them to ready up, my friend. You've just got to tell them to ready up. Simple as that. Oh. Anyways, as I say, let me know in the comment section who you are predicting for the win. Nathan's going for Cameron Dowd for the win. I think Tom has just seen me, or heard me in the chat potentially, saying you guys can ready up. Oh, that was a voice crack and a half. But we are going to get going very soon indeed, and we are pretty much at go time for here in the Brazilian Grand Prix. And speaking of go time, here we go. The 5 red lights going out here for round 8 of the championship in season 5 of F1. And it is lights and away we go. And Yossi gets a better start compared to Aurelian. Might run up in towards turn 1 on the back of him, but Aurelian will hold the lead for now. Yossi there in second, Cameron Dowd in third. Goes King forking up the inside there of the Mercedes. Going to get under pressure though from Tom in behind. I think everyone is clean through. There's a Haas round in the background. That is Robin cut completely short there, I think by one of the WSC drivers. So Robin there has spun. Caginio's been caught up in an incident as well. So both PGS drivers all the way down the field. There's a broken front wing, I think, for Robin as well, if I'm not mistaken. But Aurelian leads, coming through turn number 4. Then Yossi in second. Cameron Dowd in third. Goes King in fourth. Ethan and Hazara in towards Ferradura. In towards turn number 6. Side by side. And the Red Bull gets that job done. So Hazara through and he's into thick. Good fighting throughout the field as well. Belbelby, Lorenzinho, and Rufy pretty much going side by side. Rufy certainly going side by side with Belbelby now on the outside, or Lorenzinho even on the outside line. Now to the inside line, avoids pretty much contact there. Lorenzinho has to take avoiding action. There's another yellow flag out on track. That's Robin again, who's just completely overheated his tyres. He's down the field. Fedez Pigo and Lorenzinho getting caught up in an incident as well. But up front, Aurelian leads, Yossi in second, Cameron Dowds there in third. Very, very good start to the Brazilian Grand Prix. Pretty much all clean. Top 5 certainly clean, as now Hazara's looking on the back of Bender. They certainly don't want to give me a break in towards turn number 1. It's 3 wide in towards turn number 1. And the Red Bull tries to get up the inside of the Mercedes. Bender's trying to hold the inside line now on Tom. Bang wheels coming down through the left-hander at turn number 4. Very nicely done indeed. Right now going on the back of Ethan, and it's going to be 2x2 like Noah's Ark. We go in towards the Descida de Lago section at turn number 4. Just forced off track there slightly is the back of Tom. He's lost 2 positions for the price of 1. Benza forced him off track. Benza through into 5th. Hazara there in 6th. Ethan there, Tom there in 7th, and Ethan and Ryan still having a fight for 8th and 9th, and just about the OP man getting the job done. But that is a war crime right there, because Belbelby has gone down the inside line, very much late on the back of Ethan, and that unfortunately is him round, and that is unfortunately for him, dropping down the field. But it's already now on top. Yossi there in second, but Yossi making a mistake, maybe a little bit of contact actually coming through the back. Bender's got a set of soft compound tyres on, by the way. As I'll quickly take a drink just to be sure Bender is on the back of Goals King. But Aurelian already out in front. Yossi there in second. Cameron Dowds there in third. Looking nice, I've got to say, so far in terms of the racing. Hazara closing in on the back of Bender in towards turn 1. Bender in turn on the back of Goals King. Dives it from a mile back to the inside line. The Ferrari has to be given room by the Alpine. But that set of soft compound tyres is so quick early on in this race. Bender just made an absolute mug out of him. He's through and he's into 4th. Christmas mug, I think, completely out of him there. But it is Benza through into 4th, Goals King there in 5th, and Hazara there in 6th. And finally, I think we can settle on down as Jeslo goes the inside line for X Esports on the back of Gavano. That's a bit like Hamilton and Verstappen in 2022 around here. And that is Jeslo down in 12th. Gagino there has left the session. Hopefully he can get back in, but it might be more out of frustration than anything else. Oh, it's lap 3 already, and it's absolutely flown on by. Aurelian leading the way. Yossi there in 2nd, Cameron Dowd in 3rd, and it's Benja in 4th. Goals King in 5th, Hazara there in 2nd, and Tom, Ryan, Ethan, Rufy top 10. BR4, Jeslo, Gavano, Belbelby, Formula X top 15. And then Fedez Piga, who got caught up in a bit of an incident earlier on. Then Robin, who is still going out on track. He's on a fresh set of mediums. And Lorenzinho on a set of softs, who's been in the pit lane. So was Roman, and so was Gagino, all picking up damage early on in the race. Yossi looking on the back of Aurelian. No team order. Oh, I was going to say no team orders in play until he's done that. But now coming down to the inside line in towards turn number 1. Trying to get the job done on the outside line through turn 2 and 3. Bit of contact actually. Yossi nearly forcing him off, and Cameron Dowd has to take complete avoiding action there. Yossi getting very much like the Minister of Defence of Switzerland right now. But Nathan JB might have a point from what he said in the chat a little bit earlier on about him and last season PSGL. Again, very, very hard racing from Yossi. We saw this last week in the Netherlands. He does not want to get himself into more trouble. He got away with it that day. May not get away with though here in Brazil. As Cameron Dowd looks the inside line and Goals King, trying to fight the move through 4th and 5th position. Can't get the job done. But yeah, definitely deserve racing room, and definitely cleaner driving wins out over dirty driving any day of the week. But it's already now on top. Yossi 2nd, Benza there in 3rd. Yossi there looking on the back of his teammate, but he's going to be under pressure from the man of OP, from the man of Benza in behind. And on that set of soft compound tyres, he is doing a very, very good job indeed. Trademark for Nathan, says Bass. I totally agree with that. It is an absolute trademark. Because now, actually, speaking of trademarks, Yossi looks the inside line on the back of Aurelian, gets the job done. And now Aurelian is going to be shoehorned into being the guinea pig with Benza on the back. Benza's soft compound tyres will begin to wear off from around lap 8, lap 9. So the more he can actually bring those tyres into play, the better. F7R looking for the block on here. Bender's having none of it, looking to the inside line of Descida de Lago. But in the end, they have to try and get out the block. And it's a rally now back to Yossi. And he's through into the race lead on that 5 out of 36, running up towards Ferragura. In behind as well, Jeslo trying to make ground on that set of medium compound tyres. Rufy and Ethan are side by side with each other coming through that part of the track as well. But otherwise, very strong start from everyone out on track. Very strong start from the drivers. Benza, having a bit of a look there on the back of Yossi. to the right-hander now, turn number 10. Now to Magudio at turn number 11. Then in towards Junsao at turn number 12. And looking good is rallying right now. But Benza, OP, and F7R hate each other out on track. Absolutely detest each other on track. Let's just face it. And OP and F7R are now first, second, and third out on track. Because now Yossi looks for the back on a rally in towards turn 1. This is going to be another block on, I think, down in towards turn number 4. Benza's going to have the run at them, but he has got 19% of EOS, so it is going to be tricky now for rally, and especially after making a mistake. You're getting another advert, by the way, if you are on the stream. Apologies about that. It is just YouTube again on my end. Benza, though, looking to the outside line, and block on might not actually work because Benza and Aurelian not force each other off there. Benza made a slight mistake on the outside curve, and now letting goes King into play, running up the hill and towards turn number 4. Turn number 6 even for 4th position. Not getting the job done there. Cameron Dowd's now on the back. Everyone just sitting in tight in behind. But Benza has to look for a way through. We're running made a slight mistake coming through turn number 4. Nearly opened up the door. Benza there in the background. I think just realising that he wants to take it easy, just save a little bit of EOS. Nathan saying in chat, OP and F7R collision would have terrible odds at the bookies. I think it's evens favourite, I think, for collision here tonight as well. But then again, that's word of mouth. Yossi out on top, Reddy in second. Benza there in third. Cameron Dowd and Tom may swap positions for Shizou further down the field. They're all running in line of stern formation. Somebody that is making ground, there was Jesla. Did say watch out from on that side of mediums. Esports, of course, having a P10, a top 10 finish, of course, in Qatar a few rounds back. I think it was in round 4. And again, Esports, once again, with Jesla here in 10th, BR4 and 12, doing a good job so far out on track. So looking very, very strong in the Alfa Romeo. But let's see what the drivers can do out on track. And let's see if they can make any more progress. Jesla is on the better tyres early on. However, I prefer to be on a set of hards mediums around here. I did a league race around here, a few weeks back. And for me, hards to mediums was the strategy. I ended up, I think, coming P3 that day as well. So, a little bit of a show-off from me in the commentary box of actually trying to keep up with some of these guys. But, Yossi, Aurelian and Benza certainly showing how it's done out on track there for P1, 2 and 3. Formula Max and Fedus Pigra having a fight coming through the middle sector. And as you can tell, my voice is already going because I'm not used to talking this long without a break and handing over to my co-comms, which I haven't got here tonight. But you have to try and cope with me for now. Ryan's on the back of Tom in towards turn number 1. What's the German going to do? On the back of the Brit in towards turn number 1. Not going to risk the move. BR4 is, though. Sweet around the outside of Ethan. Ethan locks up. Jesla staying ahead of him, and BR4, oh, that's a bit forceful, and they make contact again. Ethan makes contact again with Jesla, and look who's that going to give into the mix. It's Gavano making 2 positions for the price of 1. Them in 11. Just keep it clean. It's simple. Brazil, keep it clean. Hazar and Ryan making a mistake, I think. Ryan coming out of turn number 4. That is him. They're down to P8. There's a yellow flag briefly there in the final sector. I think that was Lorenzino, if I'm not mistaken, having a bit of a spin. Yeah, drivers looking all good so far, but Yossi out on top, already in there in second. Benza there in third. Now coming to the right-hander of turn number 10 once again. Pentasofts, though, definitely seem to be going off. I said around lap 8 or lap 9. I've got in my notes they last around 13 or 14 laps. But looking good so far, Benza. He's trying to keep those tyres as fresh as possible. They wear off at about a rate around here. On a set of softs especially, they wear off at about 6%. On a set of mediums, it's more like 5.5%, and on a set of hards, it's more like 4%. And I know drivers in F2 and in Academy early on were mentioning about this and actually saying about the tyres and mentioning about the tyres compared to other tracks. It's much easier tyre wear around this track compared to on the last game. Last game, you'd be getting potentially 20 lap old mediums, 80% worth of tyres towards the end of the race. That still can happen, but the tyres are much more forgiving around a track like this here this season and on this game cycle. So that's why you are seeing the drivers just taking that a little bit easier, trying to get a little bit further into the race, and then go hell for leather in the second half of the race. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now out on track. Baslo there saying, I've never left. Yeah, he has never left. Indeed, has Baz. Don't say that about Baz. It's terrible. Yossi out on top, though, already in second. Benza that in third. Quarter of the way through the race here in Brazil. Tom looking on the back of Cameron Dowds for 5th and 6th position. Looking to try and get a minute position gain on the back of his own teammate in towards turn number 1. I think everyone is just clear in terms of what they're doing. Big old DRS train right up until just before the pit stops, and then we will get going again in the second half of the race for the overtakes and hopefully a lot of good racing to come as well. Running that on the back of Yossi though, looking to maybe try and eke a move, but he's not close enough for the back. F7R, I think, going to be running potentially with a very good strat, I've got to say, here tonight so far. They're doing very well in terms of their strat. That is Robin, though, crashed through the left-hand return number 9. We're coming up to that part of the track now, and it's a safety car. Safety car out on track. Ruins potentially the strategy for some. Benzer, I think, has been saved by this. And Lorenzini and Coginio, I think, have been saved by this further down the field. But everyone else, I think, there is the car, or there was the stricken car of Robin on the left-hand side. Coming through turn number 9. What he's done there, I think, is just spin by himself. He was nowhere near anyone. Robin has just spun. So far, so bad for PGS. PGS is having an absolute disaster. I'm in that team, PGS. An 19th and 20th position out on track. Getting unlucky early on. Bit of contact with Robin. Coginio then getting caught up in, I think, either a spin or a bit of contact himself. PGS not going according to plan for them. Down in 19th to 20th. Yossi, though, in. Rallying in, and he's trying to back up the field so they don't double stack as much. But that's going to have a knock-on effect in behind, because look, coming in the pit lane, we'll try and watch this actually coming in the pits. I think everyone is on the brake limiter. Roofy, though, has a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Ryan, and he's overtook him into the pit lane. First on me around here in Brazil. That's a complete first on me. Has he got any damage from it? No. No. Roofy is now ahead of Ryan, out on track, and in fact, actually, Ryan's been double stacked, of course, with Benzer. So actually, Roofy has just gained 3 positions. How's that allowed? How is that allowed in Formula 1 these days? I do not know. That is absolute manic. So Roofy gets a 5-second penalty. He's got away with murder there. He has really got away with murder there. And Ryan, in turn, has also got a penalty, and he's also picked up a 5-second penalty. So I'm going to quickly, if this doesn't break, I hope it doesn't, I will show you the race director and show you Ryan. And that was a 5-second time penalty. I'll give you the warnings as well. Where's the instance? There we are. We'll see it now on here. And it was a 5-second penalty for colliding with Roofy. So they both get a 5-second penalty for collision with each other, even though Roofy was overtaking the back of Ryan, and they ghosted inside of each other. So, I'm not sure if that works. I'm not sure if it does. It's worked for Roofy for now, but whether the stewards penalise any further remains to be seen. But both of them have got a 5-second penalty, which I think is key in this incident, because obviously Roofy has overtook Ryan. That would, when the racing gets back going, in turn possibly be a 5-second advantage on these games. So, with them both picking up a penalty, they're technically even Stevens, and they're technically now going to be, maybe not at the wrath of the stewards. I'm sure that will get investigated, though, regardless. Matteo mentioned in the chat there'll be another safety car, probably, and mediums will make it either way. Yeah, I think there will be. Definitely in Brazil, around a track like this, where incidents are so easy to, mistakes are so easy to make, it's going to be really tricky, I think, in terms of seeing another safety car. I think we will see at least one, maybe even 2, up until the end of the race. But these drivers, as long as they run in the DRS train and don't go absolutely hell for leather on this restart, they should be fine. They should be fine. Lifeboat saying, why is Benz on a set of mediums? Benz is on a set of mediums, I think maybe preempting another safety car out on track. Unless it's a human error and he's actually mistook that and obviously put on a set of... I'm guessing his strategy is going to be mediums, medium softs. I'll double check that actually in the race director, but I'm sure he was on a set of mediums to begin off the race. No, actually, he was on a set of softs, just a set of mediums. If he gets another safety car, I can see what he's going with. But as I say, the tyre wear is so much lower on this game compared to the last ones. It'll make it a lot easier for him to get to the pit lane. Now, his tyres are going to be around 75, 80, 85% in amongst that region. Potential puncture territory towards the end of the race. For Benzer, on that set of mediums, I can see those getting to the end of the race. He's got 24 laps and a set of mediums. I've seen 24 lap all mediums make it around here before in previous game cycles, so I wouldn't be surprised if Benza can make it, and in fact the whole field can make it on that compound tyre. We'll have to wait and see. May saying F in the chat, F indeed, and F for the safety car because we are getting another lap under the safety car. Fantastic. Yossi leads the way. Benza in second. Ghost King there in third. Then it's Cameron Dowds in fourth. Aurelian in fifth. Rofi, then Hazara, Jeslar, Ryan and Tom top 10. Then Belbelby, Gavano, Ethan, BR4 and Formula X top 15. Fedez Piga, Lorenzino, Caginio and Roman right down in the back of the field there, down in 19th position. Myself, James Hay, taking through the action. And Lifeboat mentioned once again in the chat about the tyres. Hards would be better at the end. Surprised nobody is boxing for hards. As I say, I did a league race around here, and we had 2 safety cars, I think, and I ended up going still hards to mediums because I thought that was the quicker strategy around here. But in terms of the hards, Jeslar has had to go on that tyre because he's been forced to. He will make it definitely to the end of the race, but the tyre difference between the mediums and the hards. Hards are around about 5 or 6 tenths slower per lap, and that is when the stint gets going. So when you see these guys go back green, Jeslar's tyres are going to be 6 tenths slower than Ryan and Tom in behind, and you do not want Ryan and Tom on the back of you when you're on a set of hard compounded tyres because you will be absolutely swamped. As soon as the hards get up to temperature, then they're on the level pegging with the mediums. So Jeslar has opted for that. He's been forced into that, but we're not getting forced into another lap under the safety car, luckily, because the safety car is now in, and that is Yossi now, the virtual Burt Malander. He is now the virtual safety car, and now looking to try and extend away out in front. Benter there in second, Ghost King in third. Where is the Swiss man going to go? And this is going to depend hard on the back of Bender, down in towards turn number 1. Let's wait and find out. Through the speed of those boxes on lap 13. Because he still hasn't gone. Might go around about now through this banking section. Now he goes. Yossi goes through the left-hander at 15, through the final corner, and now is caught completely. Benza off guard. Aurelian looking to the inside on the back of Cameron Dowds. The fair move down and towards turn number 1. Cameron Dowds a little bit later on the brakes. Actually hangs it around the outside. That's his PC experience coming into play right there. Cameron Dowds Looney's into 4th. Aurelian there in 5th. But they're now going to go hammer and tongs once again. Down in towards the seat of the Largo. Oh, down in towards the Richard Frost. In towards the seat of the Largo. And Aurelian tries to hang that around the outside. The Frenchman on the back of the Brit of Cameron Dowds. Cameron on the outside line. Aurelian's got the inside line for Drew at turn number 6. Tries to look to the inside line. Can't make it stick. And Cameron Dowds remains ahead. But look at Roofy in behind as well. Roofy trying to get on the back of him. And he's not going to get quite close enough on the back of Aurelian and towards that part of the track. But there's a bit of a slap there from Hazara. I think a snap from Hazara there. Just making a little bit of a mistake as the Red Bull. He's there in 7th. Ryan there in 8th. Jeslar in 9th. Jeslar hasn't actually lost many positions. In fact, he hasn't lost a position at all. And everyone has pretty much stayed the same. Out on track. With Yossi leading the way. Ben's there in 2nd. Ghost King there in 3rd. Cameron Dowds in 4th. Aurelian there in 5th. Very good start by everyone. But look, now the hards are going to be completely swamped because there goes Tom using up his battery to the inside line. Through turn 15. Should be easy done. It's Tom now ahead of Jeslar, who's actually fighting back down in towards turn number 1. Doesn't get the job done. 2 for 1 though in towards turn number 1. Ethan looks the outside line now. Inside line for turn 2. Brilliant stuff by Ethan. Gets ahead. Jeslar now being open like a can of worms. Belbelby and Gavano in behind as well. They're nearly going 3 wide down in towards turn number 4. And they are in fact 3 wide in towards turn number 4. And how on earth they haven't involved themselves in contact that I do not know. Belbelby is through. Jeslar has been absolutely opened up like you're having open heart surgery right now. Looking to the inside line through turn number 5 and 6. Gets the job done. He's still trying to fight hard on those set of hard compounded tyres. He's probably been told, just park the bus, fam. Park the bus there in 11th. Good fighting throughout the field though. Belbelby losing a position. And BR4 getting caught up in a little bit of that as well. But Tom now ahead, Ethan ahead, and Jeslar being opened up as if he's just been put on the operating table. But Yossi leading the way. From Benza there in 2nd. Ghost King there in 3rd. Cameron Dowds there in 4th. Lap 15 out of 36 going on to lap 16 out of 36. Out on track. And Ryan now looking on the back of Hazara. ETA against OP's finest on the run towards turn number 1. German on the back of the Norwegian. Is he going to look to the inside line? Maybe for the switchback coming out of 1. Then prioritises the switch back coming out of turn number 2. Now we'll have the run. If he can put on the ERS around about now, might look for the move. Down the straight towards turn number 4. Down the retro poster we go. And he's got the DRS. He's got the ERS enabled. This should be job done for Ryan. Hazawa fights hard to the outside line though. The Red Bull's still there. Very fair driving between them both. And the Ferrari gets out ahead. OP Ryan through and he's into 7th. Very good racing there. Oh, as my voice is going, but Hazawa there now trying to defend off the back of Tom. You do know what Tom around the outside of turn number 8. Pulled one off there before, doesn't pull it off this time. Tom though in 9th doing a good job. And looking good indeed. Lifeboat is being held hostage in the engineering roster. Goodness me, we need to get a SWAT team right there right now in terms of freedom from that party. Yossi leads the way from Bender in 2nd. Goes King there in 3rd. Cameron Dowds in 4th. And Cameron Dowds is looking pretty with 59% of ERS right now. Compared to, and we'll have a run down on the top 3 actually, because I think we're going to see Bender and Yossi for the race lead. Bender looks the inside line on 80% of ERS, looks the inside line at turn number 1. Job done for him. Yossi's on 90% of ERS, goes King on 64, Cameron Dowds on 57. So Cameron Dowds out of the top 4 is running much thinner compared to everyone else on the ERS. And now Yossi's going to fight back at Bender, running down and towards turn number 4 once again. F7R and OP, and oh my word, we've seen a clean battle between both of them. Yossi through, and he's into the lead. Bender there in 2nd, Ghost King there in 3rd, Cameron Dowds there in 4th, and Aurelian there in 5th. Looking very, very strong. Out on track indeed. Yeah, not needed from me. Yeah, not needed from me. So, some of my comments are off-piece. Formula Rex, by the way, just spun, coming through turn number 5, just out of Cedar de Lago, that part of the track. So that is him down in 19th. Romana struggling as well. They're down in 18th. Yossi leading the way. From Bender there in 2nd. Ghost King there in 3rd. And this race has been a little bit filled of carnage, a little bit filled of well, not controversy, but a little bit of incidents here and there. But all in all, we're going to see a 3 wide, I think, here. Ryan on the back of Roofy. Roofy on the back of Aurelian. Aurelian's going to be opened up like a swamp fish right now, looking to the inside line. At turn 1, he'll have to defend. Bender defends in the back of Yossi. They're side by side through turn 1 as well. Bender's got the job done on Yossi. And Aurelian hangs on to the back of Ryan for now. So Ryan there hanging on for 7th, trying to get the job done. But now Aurelian has got Roofy outside of ERS range. And now they're running side by side down the straight towards turn number 4. It's going to be the Frenchman around the outside on the NLR man. He's pulsed out wide though slightly in for his own mistake. And now Ryan is side by side with him. And an OPF7 bar battle once again is clean because Ryan gets ahead of Aurelian. Really good driving, really respectful driving as well out on track. Compared to last week, this is bread and butter, completely different. And Ryan now through his intersect, Aurelian there in 7th. And OP and F7R, the more they fight cleanly, the more I'm going to love this and the more you guys are going to enjoy this at home as well. But we are halfway through here in Brazil for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Here at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. Benza who leads the way from Yossi in 2nd. Ghost King there in 3rd. Cameron Dowds there in 4th. Then a bit of a gap to Roofy there in 5th. Ryan in 6th. Then Aurelian in 7th. Hazawa might be 8th, but not for long because Tom's on the back of him running towards turn number 1. Then it's Ethan in P10. Lorenzini and Belbelby having their better showing for Osio in 11th and 12th. BR4 now ahead of his teammate Jeslo in towards turn number 4, turn number 1 even, so BR4 now ahead of Jeslo. Then it's Fedez Pico in 15th, then Cagino, Gavano, Roman and Formula Rex in terms of the roll call, as Hazar and Aurelian now dropping down the field. I wonder if Aurelian, I don't know what's going on with him. I wonder if he's got a little bit of damage potentially on the car. He's running out of batteries on 8% of the battery and he spun! Aurelian spins by himself. That's a weird one. That is a complete weird one from Aurelian. Spins coming through the right-hand return number 6. Could be a commentator's curse from me. I will definitely take that one if it is. But Aurelian spins by himself. I'm not sure if there was a tap there. It didn't look like it to me. But Aurelian has spun by himself. And I think he might have a little bit of damage potentially on that car somewhere. I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird one. It's a weird one. He's dropping back. He was dropping back so quick through the field. It could have been perceivable to have a little bit of damage. Maybe like rear wing damage or something on the car. Or side pod. He touched the grass and spun. Yeah, it was his own mistake. I certainly didn't see any contact. But he's caught the car on the outside curb, I think, is what Nathan's mentioned. On the outside curb. Through turn number 6. And that's unfortunately him now down the field. And F7R... are not really having a field day right now, are they? Because Bender's out in the lead. Ryan's got that 5-second penalty, remember, but he's there in 6th. That 5-second penalty gets rescinded, along with Roofy's 5-second penalty. OP are cooking. And OP, actually, right now, would be leading the championship as it stands. Because Aurelian there down in 16th, after making his own mistake on the grass, has now put OP back in front of the championship as it stands. Benz is currently picking up 30 points. Yossi's on 25, so it's a 5-point difference there. But Ryan is getting 18, I believe. If my math is right and my point system is right, Ryan is picking up 18. So, with that, or 16 even it might be 16 or something. But Ben's right on top, Yossi second, Ghost King in third. I will double check. Maze's saying it's a 5-point lead. I'm thinking it's around a 5-point lead as well. So yeah, at least we're on the same page there. Really good on the same page. But Aurelian surely going to be pinning in, as Bass has maybe just mentioned, for a set of soft compound tyres. Electromagic, 15 laps. Another safety car could be looking pretty pretty at the back end of the field. But he's there in 16th. And right now Aurelian is only picking up 4 points. 4 points. So 29 points it would be for F7R. And it would be 40 odd points. So yeah, it's a 10-point gap. So it might be around about a 5 or 6 point lead, I think. That's what I'm making it up with anyways. But anyways, we'll let the mathematician of Maze sort out that one. It is Benzarad on top from Yossi there in second. Ghost King there in third. Benza getting very lucky in terms of that safety car, but he is out there in front and he's there on his own volition. He's looking for 2 in a row from Zandvoort last week, of course. Benza getting caught into play, but Yossi's right there or thereabouts. He doesn't want to entertain a move once again in towards turn number 1. Tom though might on the back of Azar. He's coming very quickly at the back of the Red Bull in towards turn number 1. And it's a Tom-like move. It's pouncing in towards turn number 1. And RKO out of nowhere for Tom, and he's through. And he's into 7th. Very nicely done indeed. Like a predator hunting his prey is the Mercedes there in 7th. Fantastic move from him. And Azara just wants to let him go. And probably best too, because Tom has got more EOS than you. You may as well let him go. As Ethan there just makes a mistake slightly coming through that pot. 44 points for OP, F7R 29, F7R 10-point lead coming into tonight. Yep, so it's a 5-point gap. However, change that because Yossi has just lost the position to Ghost King. I think he's got caught wide or a bit of contact maybe coming through turn number 6. Now Cameron Dowds is side by side with Yossi as well. Yossi's tyres seem to be going on the rear and Cameron Dowds gets the job done up the inside line. So scrap that. Yossi now, F7R losing more points. OP absolutely gaining up trumps right here. And I believe now, with those 2 moves happening, Yossi now is only scoring 20-odd points, or 20 points. So Yossi there in 4th, now is going to come back at Cameron Dowds. So we'll speak soon with this battle. Cameron Dowds now looking on the back of Ghost King. Could all lead in towards the pit wall, down in towards turn number 1. Ghost King's very late on the brakes, leading into the back of Benza. Somehow gets the car stopped, somehow remains 2nd. Cameron Dowds though in 3rd, Yossi there in 4th, looking to try and hunt them down once again, running down the Retro Poster, in towards the seat of the Largo, he's closing in the Swissman, now on the outside of the Brits, in towards turn number 4, the camera angle's shocking, but Cameron Dowds and Yossi still side by side, and Cameron Dowds comes out on top, but for how long? Yossi could have another go at him, up towards turn number 6, good job done there from Cameron Dowds, good defensive driving, and Yossi there has just got to sit, waiting behind, use up a little bit of ERS down the straight, and then maybe it's game on again, down in towards turn 1, but it is spicy action out on track here in Brazil. Benza leading the way, Ghost King there in 2nd. Are we surely not going to get a repeat of the first 3 from last week? Tom Amina's in 7th, so he's a little bit further down. But we're getting a repeat of what happened here in the Netherlands. 1st and 2nd were 1st and 2nd last week. Benza leads the way, 0.5 of a second. Ghost King in 2nd, Cameron Dowds in 3rd. Here comes Ryan on the back though of Roofy, the NLR man against the OP man, and OP man surely going to be through Ryan on the outside line. He's a bit blocked in towards turn number 1, and Roofy forces the inside line. Good defensive driving, but Ryan will get him on the switchback. Surely out of 2. He gets the job done through the centre house, and that is job done. Now opens up a whole can of worms in behind, because here comes Tom, now on the back of Roofy as well. I think, though, he's just going to sit and wait in behind in terms of this battle as well. But all of this battling ahead, just beginning to lose them a bit of time. Ryan and Roofy, that battle nearly lost them about 0.5 of a second. So, Now, Ryan's on the back foot, Rufy and Tom in turn are on the back foot, and they could end up out of DRS range sooner rather than later as Tom forces the inside line, somehow gets the car stopped, real lock in there, coming out through the the left-hander of turn number 9. But Tom, trying to force the move, has got to force the move somewhere through this part of the track, pretty much impossible. Apologies again by any adverts that you were getting as well on the stream. They have been, they have been very evenly put out, the adverts here tonight, which is about every 20 minutes. So if you are experiencing that, I apologise. Not my fault, just the way that YouTube has done it with the ads on this video and on this live stream. So I will try and have a look at that course for next week if I can fix anything regarding any adverts. But Ben's leading the way. Ghost King there in second. Cameron Dowd's there in third. Hopefully ad 3 towards the end of the race, apart from the Next Level Racing advert, which you will see at the end of the stream. Ben's there leading the way from Ghost King in second. It's looked very good. There's 12 laps worth of racing still left, including this one that we're on. And everyone now settling down for the final thrust, it seems. Hazara there on the back of Tom. Rufy there in 6th position. Nathan mentioned that we're getting the ad revenue. It's League Racing TV that gets the ad revenue, not me. I'm surely entitled to a 35% cut for doing the solo live stream, but have to wait and see if I do get that through the post. Ben's leading the way. Ghost King there in second. Cameron Dowd's there in third. Yossi there in fourth. Position gains, by the way, which we haven't actually looked at. Ben's got lucky with that safety car, as did Rufy. They've gained 11 and 8 respectively. Everyone else has pretty much lost a position, apart from Ghost King, Ryan, along with Benza and Rufy, Jeslar, Kaginio and Romanino, and Cameron Dowd, who's remained in position, and actually might lose a position here to Yossi, down in towards turn number 1. Is he going to go for the lunge? In towards turn number 1. Yossi is alongside him. Cameron Dowd's a bit later on the brakes, though. Oh, and there's contact! Ethan to the inside line of Benza, forces the contact, forces Cameron Dowd's off track. Benza's all out of shape, and Yossi's going to have a run there down the retro poster on him. Is the F7R man going to entertain this battle? He will. Looks to the inside line. In towards turn number 4. Doesn't get the job done, though. Benza leads. Yossi second. Ryan there in third. Ethan, though, too hot on the brakes. Unfortunate for him. Down in P8. Benza had a big recovery coming out of turn number 3 as well. I do not know how Yossi did not take full action on that and get the race lead. They need every single point they can get. I think I would have gone for the lead and try and strap wings if he made that mistake, which he did. But wow. Cameron Dowd surely got damage. It looks like he's got away with that scot-free. I think he ghosted Ethan when Cameron Dowd's on the outside line of him. If it is, it's very minimal left side end plate damage, I think, on the car. But Cameron Dowd's there in fifth. At 6/10 of a second, it's not much of a gap to lose, to be honest. But he's got Rufy on the back of him. In towards turn number 1, and it's easy, and Cameron Dowd's is in. You were right. Cameron Dowd's into the pit lane. That is him going to be going on to a set of soft compound tyres, surely, picking up the fastest lap point as Lorenzino looking to the inside line. And Belby, where's he come from around the outside of turn number 2? Gets the job done. Ethan is being opened up here, but G-League now in RCR and now battling down the straight towards turn number 4. This is a battle I've wanted to see all season long. Belby to the outside line of Ethan, trying to get the job done. Force off track slightly, bit of wheel banging coming through turn 5, and now up the hill and towards Ferrature at turn number 6. Belby to the inside line of Ethan, still fighting now, all literally hung, drawn and quartered coming through this part of the track, coming through the one at turn number 8. Ethan there still side by side with Lorenzino. It's still side by side, it's still side by side, bit of contact, and Ethan gets ahead. Ethan gets ahead. I think there was a slight mistake potentially from Ethan that forced that bit of contact. His tyres are just overheating slightly. Belby though, fair play to you, my friend. What a battle that was between them both. Benza there leading the way. Yossi there in second. Ryan there in third. Looking in the Discord, apparently Ryan's penalty could be removed, and I believe it could. I certainly saw that from my end, but certainly going to be looked at. Rufy, his penalty could be removed as well. If it's not, I'll be very surprised as well, but they have both got 5-second penalties, so stewards might not actually entertain that and say, you know what, we're not going to give any additional penalties because we thought it was fair for them both coming in the pit lane. But that's up to the stewards, it's not up to me, sadly. It's just my opinion on the stream. BR4 looking on the outside line of Ghost King. Where is Ghost King? Ghost King has disappeared on the Alpine with that camera angle, and BR4 has been opened up there again. Jeslar and Fedez Piga now through. And Jeslar now looking to lose positions with Fedez Piga right on the back of him, coming up the hill and towards Ferrature at turn 7. Benza hanging on out in front. Yossi there in second. Ryan there in third. Nathan mentioned in the chat which OP driver will be the sacrifice against Yossi. Formula X is sped into the pit lane, so that might be him done for the night. I have a feeling it'll be Ryan more than Benza. I don't think Ryan has got the pace compared to Benza to actually look in. Down the straights, through the corners, looks great. Down the straights, he looks a little bit wanting for pace. So I would sacrifice Ryan more than anything. Gonna see human sacrifice on the stream here as Fedus Piga. Ghost King's just been absolutely done for down the straight there. Fedus Piga through, Jeslo through, 10th and 11th secured for them for now. On that 29 out of 36 here in the Brazilian Grand Prix. Roll call, it's Benza out on top. From Yossi in second, Ryan there in third, Tom there in fourth, then Rufy in fifth. We'll see this battle between Fedus Piga and Jeslo once again. Fedus Piga through into 10th. But roll call again with the positions changing. Benza leading the way from Yossi second. Ryan there in third, then Tom fourth. Rufy there in fifth. Hazara there in sixth. Looking on the back there of Rufy through turn number 8. Then Lorenzino in 7th. They've got their own group. Then it's a bit of a gap to Ethan, 8 tenths behind and 8 after that spin and contact. Belbelby there in 9th doing a fantastic race. RCR doing a stunning job, by the way, in this race. Fedus Piga there in 10th and Jeslo in 11th. Ghost King in 12th. BR4 in 13th. Tiginio 14th. Aurelian after his mistake in 15th. Gavano 16th. Cameron Dowds after his contact in 17th. Roman and Formula X down in 18th and 19th out of the 107% rule right now is Yossi again looking on the back of Benza in towards turn 1. That was, I thought, being the move towards turn 1, but Rufy and Tom are side by side. Ghost King has... Is he letting them through? I think Ghost King might be letting them through. He's certainly having a battle with Jeslo. There's a yellow flag there. I think that might be for the Ghost of Car Formula X. But Rufy now, side by side with Tom, down the straight towards turn number 4. Doesn't get the job done. Mercedes hangs on. Williams holds on for now for 5th. Wow. Nathan saying as well in the chat, Cameron Dowds probably finishing 13th at best without a safety car. But Formula X, though, was retired, and that is a safety car. It is a safety car. You've literally cursed it, Mr. Nathan JB. It's a safety car out on track. And now, everyone surely set us off from penalty tyres. Ryan and Rufy can set up their 5-second penalty. Surely, it set us off to the end of the race, and everyone stays in position. But, safety car out on track, Formula X, he let everyone through, and because I think he got caught on the dirty stuff through turn number 1 and maybe down the straight as well, what I think has happened there is his tyres have just overheated, and he spun. Whether or not that is intentional will be from the POV. I don't think it was personally, but if it was, it looks a bit strange, him being far off track. But I have a feeling he's got caught in the outside line through turn number 4 and just spun the car because of his overheating tyres. Rufy definitely wants to try and get past, though, on the back of Tom. Hazara there on the back as well. But everyone in the pit lane, as predicted, apart from BR4, but he's actually in the pit lane. Giginio's in, everyone in, set us off compound tyres on. Bang, bang, bosh, all the way towards the end of the race. And now I am going to take a slight break with my voice. I'll be back with you as soon as we get back going again, but I will just rest my voice for about a minute or 2 while I reply to a message. Double stack, by the way, for OP in the pit lane. You guys have seen that in the chat. I definitely saw that as well. Ryan down and P12 has been absolutely shafted. Absolutely shafted in terms of the double stack. Benza there leading the way. Yossi in second. The big gainer out of all of that was Lorenzino. RCR are looking for their first podium of the entire season. RCR, as I said earlier on, I think in qualifying I said this, or at the beginning of the race, they've been knocking on the door. Netherlands, they were knocking on the door until both of them ended up further down the field. Austria, before their contact, they were running in the top 10. Very much so in the top 10. Should have been the top 10 finish there. And now they're looking for a top 5 finish with Lorenzino and Belbelby in 9th position. Fantastic job for RCR right now. But, yeah, yes, Ryan, you've got to feel sorry for. Ghost King as well, you've got to feel sorry for him because he has been absolutely shafted as well, obviously with that contact. He's there down 11th. Aurelian and Cameron Dowd's got to feel sorry for them after their contact. Down in 15th, 16th. They're on a set of softs. They're hardly going to be making any ground throughout the field. But what we are going to do, and what we are going to get even, is 4 laps of racing right until the checkered flag. So get in the comment section now who is winning this race. I said Yossi at the start. And I also say Cameron Dowds and Tom for 2nd and 3rd. Tom, to be fair, is 3rd right now. Yossi is 2nd, so at least I'm getting 2 of the top 3 right, if it stays as it is. But, who is going to win? Is Benson going to hang on and get a 2nd win of the season? Or is Yossi going to be right there or thereabouts for his win, and for his 3rd win, I think, of the season? Let's find out. Safety car in this lap, and it is Benza, the virtual Burt Malander. He's now the virtual safety car. Yossi there in 2nd. Looking to try and hunt on the back of OP. OP against F7R, 1st and 2nd. God, what could happen here? Let's hope it's clean. Let's hope it's good to the checkered flag. Let's hope we do not get another safety car in this race. But Benza now goes. Coming through the left-hand turn 15. Look at Azara on the back of Tom already. Can't overtake, of course, until the green flag goes. And that's across the start-finish line. And Azara already looking on the back of Tom and towards turn 1. There's 3 wide, I think, and towards turn 1 and behind. And that's a Red Bull round. That's Fedas Piga round. He's in the wall. That is Jeslar round as well. He's got up in contact. That was bound to happen. Saw 3 wide on the background. Benza leading the way. Yossi there in 2nd. Tom there in 3rd. Fedas Piga was retired out on track. I'm not sure if he got beached there, actually. Did Fedas Piga, but he is done for the night for ET8. Don't think we'll get a safety car for that. But Benza leading the way up the hill. Through Yossi in 2nd, Tom there in 3rd. Down and towards turn number 8 we go at the highest point of the track here in Brazil. As Aaron Londinho 4th and 5th, and Ethan, Rufy, Belbilby, Ghost King and Ryan top 10, Aurelian, Cameron Dowds, Gavano, Coutinho, Roman top 15, and BR4 and Jeslar after getting caught up in that contact with Fedas Piga. Down there in 17th, Fedas Piga there in 18th. And Malorm saying in the chat, yeah, that is not fair. Not fair indeed, but that's what happens when you get a steaming Alfa Romeo up your back end. Benza leads the way. Yossi there in 2nd. Tom there in 3rd. Running down the straight. Ethan looking close on the back of Lorenzino. RCR against G-League. 2 French teams about to go. Maybe hammer and tongs in towards turn 1. Ethan looking for the Daniel Ricciardo move. Down in towards turn 1. Doesn't get the job done. That 34 out of 36 means we're getting no safety car now to the end of the race. So it is literally hammer and tongs till the checkered flag. And remember, we only get DRS around here through the first DRS detection point, and that is coming out of turn 3. So next time around, we'll see that DRS detection point in activation. Benza, though, leading the way. Looking solid, I've got to say, out in front right now. You'll see there in 2nd. 76% of EOS, 78% now. Benza's on 83, so they're pretty much evenly matched. Tom is on 84. So again, evenly matched, and Azara's on 87, so the top 4, apart from Lorenzino there in 5th, who's used up a bit more battery, the top 4 pretty much even. Only about 10% in it in terms of the EOS usage. But Benza's got to hope. Benza has got to hope that Yossi is not quick on the back of him. Let's see on board with the F7R man. Coming through the left-hander, FCB to those boxes at turn 13. He's closing in, slowly but surely, dragging that car into contention down and towards turn number 1, but he's not going to get the job done. Somebody that might, there was Ryan on the back of Ghost King in the background. Now on the outside line of turn number 1. Ryan doesn't get the job done, doesn't want to avoid the contact, but he does set the fastest lap of the race. Ethan there on the back as well of Lorenzino. Now with the DRS now opened, looking for the move. He's not going to get close enough from that far back. There's still side by side between Ghost King and Ryan coming through that part of the track as well through turn 4. Not going to get the job done there, but Benza leading the way. Benza very much looks very under pressure now compared to Yossi and Tom. Tom there, he is a Brazilian goat. He's the king of Brazil. normally around here. He's won around here before in PSGL. Can he win it again here in EML? Can Yossi go for his third win of the season there in second, or can Benza pick up his second win in a row from the Netherlands, from the Dutch Grand Prix, and win here again in Brazil? 4.3 kilometers till the checkered flag. From this point onwards, as now Benza comes up the hill, but he's under pressure now from Yossi, and Yossi is not going to have a second chance to get this move done, because it's going to be easy down the straight. Yossi doesn't fight that, Benza doesn't fight that, Yossi's doing his into the lead of the race, and now, just to make sure, puts a little block in towards turn 1. The cheek of the F7R man, now ahead of Benza. Tom there in third. Tom's going to have to try and come back, but remember, Benza's got the DRS, and he's now going to come storming back at him down in towards turn number 4. And look at the ERS, look at the closing speed from Benza to the outside line. Yossi now going to get the elbows out, Minister of Defence of Switzerland style, as Yossi and Tom, now Yossi and Benza even go side by side up the hill. Tom there in third, still looking, maybe thinking, contact between you guys, OP and F7R guaranteed, and Tom is there in third to pick up on anything and behind. Same with Hazara as well for ETA, but now coming through the twisty section of the track, coming now through Laurent Harrod turn number 10. Yossi leads the way through Beacon de Pato. From Benza in second, Tom there in third. I think Yossi might have this. 4.5 tenths of a second. Now coming in towards Jun Sao. He's draining all of that battery, but Benza saved something for the line. Through Jun Sao for the final time. Yossi now, less than 10% of ERS. Benza is coming at him. OP, are they going to steal it on the line? F7R, it's going to be a photo finish. Benza and Yossi. Benza to the line wins, and Tom got second. Tom got second, and it's 9 thousandths of a second between the both of them. Absolutely unreal finish in Brazil. Yossi, if he saved up about 5% more of that battery, he would have had it. Benza wins, Tom in second, Yossi in third. One of the closest finish I've ever seen around here in Brazil. What a finish. And how on earth Tom got second, by the way, I do not know. Camera angle didn't even pick it up until the line, but Tom gets second, splits the pair. Brilliant stuff. Dirk thought he had it, I thought he had it, but Benza is a 2-time EML winner, and OP come out on top. Benza gets driver of the day. He was lucky with that safety car, but my word, didn't he turn that into an absolute reward? Benza takes the race win. Oh, what a finish. What a finish. We'll give the full rundown in just a second, but Benza takes the race win to the top step of the podium. The Italian dishing it out on the top step and outplayed once again by 9 thousandths of a second. Outplayed Tom and Benza. Yossi even in third, but Benza outplays everyone. Takes the race win, and Ferrari and OP are looking now on top of the world again. What a finish. Matteo saying in the chat he had less than 10% of EOS. Yeah, he had 9% coming through Jun Sao, and that's immediately where I thought he was in trouble. Benza had 15%. And Tom must have had about 30% for him to get that close. Benza takes the win. 9 thousandths of a second. Possibly one of the closest ever finishes in EML history. Tom there in second. Yossi there in third. It came down to ERS, and ERS management was key, and Benza took that win. Hazara there in fourth. Lorenzino, 3-stop by the way. Fifth. Rufy in sixth, fantastic job from him. Belby there in seventh. RCR having by far their best result of the season. Ethan there in eighth, with Ghost King there in ninth. Ryan ran off the top 10. Cameron Dowd, Aurelian, Gavano, Jeslo, Cagino top 15. Roman, then BR4 down in 17. Perez Piga there, of course, retiring, along with Formula X, and Robin right down at the back of the field. BR4, because he picked up the fastest lap, X Esports get that extra point as a result with that fastest lap point. So, gets to him. But what a race. I need to take a breather. I'm definitely resting my voice after that finish. And that is definitely getting uploaded on Twitter a little bit later on as well. But, a fantastic race. Benza taking the race win. How on earth he did it, though, is absolutely beyond me. Fantastic result. And, of course, with that, we've only got 2 rounds to go in the championship. We have a little bit of a weird one, potentially, coming up in Imola. Normally good for overtaking around there, Imola, especially down the long straight towards turn 2 at Tamburello. And Imola is next week. And then we've got Las Vegas. We're in the Strip. for Las Vegas. Hopefully drivers are not going to strip off, put it that way. But round 10 of the championship, 22nd of November, and F1 and F2, of course, at 8 p.m. UK time, Academy at 6 p.m. UK time as well. But Imola next week, myself and Indigo will be taking you through back that. Hopefully Leslie is back for F2 as well. And that is at 8 p.m. UK time, and then Academy at 6 p.m. Oh, I need to lie down. I hope you do too. Thank you so much for watching EML. We'll leave you with our sponsors, of course, in Next Level Racing. Thank you so much for tuning in for EML Premier 1. And until next time, goodbye.